Tonight, a break at the pumps.
Well, it's better than a kick in the head, but I don't know.
The Prime Minister parks the federal gas tax until Labor Day, what it means for drivers here. Also tonight, rivers on the rise.
It's a bit of an all-hands-on-deck situation.
The latest on flood preparations from around the province. And later, the Premier heads to Ottawa.
Top priority for our government, top priority for you.
Canoe and Carney talk Port of Churchill and other pressing matters for Manitoba.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Taylor Brock.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Daniel Halmerson. Some much-needed relief at the pumps is on its way. The federal government is temporarily cutting a tax on gasoline and fuel, and it's expected to save you 10 cents a litre on gas and 4 cents on diesel. CTV's Jeff Keel has more.
At $1.79.9 a litre, drivers don't mince words about the high cost at the pump.
Terrible. I don't know what to say about it.
I don't even want to think about what I would be spending per year.
Can't afford to do, to buy gas.
With the war in Iran driving gas prices up, some relief is on the way. The federal government is temporarily suspending a tax on gas and diesel starting next week until Labor Day.
This will remove up to 10 cents per litre on gasoline and 4 cents per litre on diesel fuel.
Some welcomed a 10-cent break at the gas station.
I mean, anything will help, right? Anything will help. Anything that makes it go down.
Well, it's better than a kick in the head.
Others say it won't make much of a dent.
That's a minor thing, right? I mean, 10 cents from $1.80, like that's not really helping anything.
Sounds like a political game to me. I don't think it's really going to make a big difference.
Still, the Canadian Taxpayers Federation says this cut is a good first step.
You'll be saving about $7 every single time you fill up a minivan, or about $10 when you fill up a pickup truck.
The CTF says the break should be made permanent and is calling on Manitoba to slash the 12.5 cent per litre tax on gas here. Premier Wab Canoe has mused about it.
But here in Manitoba, we're focused on you. That's right. We cut the gas tax once, maybe we'll do it again.
But it appears nothing is certain yet. A provincial spokesperson says the province continues to monitor prices. Those prices are even higher for truckers as diesel hovers around $2 per litre. So what does a 4 cent per litre break from the feds mean?
Does it have a large impact? No, but over time, it's going to save everybody a little bit of money.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The tax holiday begins April 20th and will last until September 7th. Ottawa says this will cost the government around $2.4 billion. An incredible story of survival coming out of southern Manitoba tonight. Mounties say a 4-year-old boy is in stable condition after falling into a creek and getting sucked through a culvert. It happened late yesterday afternoon on a property southeast of Winkler. RCMP say the boy was playing near a creek without his parents' permission when some ice broke away and he fell into the water. His older brother went and got his mom, who, with the help of a neighbor, managed to find the boy after he went through the culvert and pulled him to safety. His mother did CPR to revive him before paramedics arrived, and he was airlifted to a Winnipeg hospital. The Manitoba government says nearly 110,000 sandbags have now been delivered to Peguis First Nation as the risk of flooding looms along the Fisher River.
It's a bit of an all-hands-on-deck situation, just like during, the COVID-19 pandemic response, just like last year during the wildfire. So there's a number of folks on site right now, particularly in Peguis.
In its latest update, the province's hydrologic forecast center says runoff in the Fisher River Basin will likely start early next week and peak between April 23rd and the 28th. The center warns a quick melt could result in flows reaching catastrophic 2022 levels. That flood forced more than 2,000 people in Peguis out of their homes. Manitoba's Transportation and Infrastructure Minister says her department is working with Peguis leadership, the federal government, and outside organizations to build dikes and protect homes in the Interlake. The Hydrologic Forecast Center is also warning of an elevated risk of overland flooding in the Parkland region. It's due to warmer temperatures expected in the coming days. Meantime, if you've been driving around the city and the Red River seems suddenly higher, it isn't your imagination. Water levels on the Red have risen sharply over the last week. CTV's John Hendricks has the details on why and how the city says it's prepared for what's to come.
If you're driving to La Barriere Park, expect a major barrier on the road. The bridge over the LaSalle River is now completely underwater.
This is only the beginning.
Meredith Greenall has lived close to the river for 15 years and says around this time of year, it can sometimes swell so high you can't even see the railings.
I used to take the school bus to school when I was in high school and elementary school, and it would have to come around because the bridge is flooded for like sometimes months on end.
The LaSalle isn't the only river in the city to rise recently. The Red River has jumped up 2 3/4 from levels recorded a week ago. The city says levels have gone up recently because of ice jams in the south and west parts of the city. As a result, Winnipeg is seeing a quick rise at the James gauge as jams let go and send a surge of water.
We're a city that has to watch flooding. We are in one of the largest basins that you've got here in North America. So this is a reality. We live by a river. Rivers change.
In Fort Rouge, East Fort Garry Councillor Sherry Rowland says because of that long history with flooding, the city's emergency management department will be ready for this flood season.
Our emergency management office is equal to the task. We always are looking for, whereas other cities are doing SIMs, it's our reality, and we're lucky to have them.
The city says crews have activated flood pump stations, sealed manholes, and have been inspecting and closing river gates. Weeks of preparation to ensure Winnipeg can handle whatever Mother Nature throws at us. John Hendricks, CTV News, Winnipeg.
In its Tuesday bulletin, the province says it may activate the Red River floodway as soon as this weekend to control water levels here in the city. The Port of Churchill topped the agenda today as Manitoba's Premier met with the Prime Minister in Ottawa.
You know, his initiatives around building out a big infrastructure in full partnership with Indigenous peoples in the Port of Churchill, top priority for our government, top priority for you.
Prime Minister Mark Carney and Premier Wab Kinew held their second quarterly meeting on the Churchill Plus project. It follows the signing of a collaboration agreement on environmental and impact assessment, which will streamline regulatory processes to minimize duplication and uphold Indigenous rights. Discussion also included Churchill's strategic role in defending Arctic sovereignty, federal health funding, support for Manitoba's agriculture industry, and help for possible spring flood here in Manitoba. A group of international students and workers are calling on the province to once more extend work permits.
We just wanted to know we are suffering. We need the extension like as soon as possible.
A few dozen people gathered on the steps of the legislature to call attention to the issue. They say work permits for around 6,000 people are set to expire this year, and they're hoping the province extends them as it did in 2025. But the workers haven't heard anything official yet and say it's causing some concern.
We are working every day, but on top of that, we have to consider our status here in the country. So that gives a lot of psychological burden as well.
Once a permit expires, the workers say they only have 90 days for it to be approved once more before they'd be forced to leave the country. The Manitoba Métis Federation's plan to become a major supplier of wind energy appears to be another step closer to reality tonight. The MMF has settled on a site near Neepawa for the 200-megawatt project. It would encompass a large plot of land north of Neepawa and Minnedosa. The organization expects it to include anywhere between 28 and 36 wind turbines and employ some 300 people during construction. It adds it's already had preliminary meetings with officials from the RMs of Minto O'Donnell and Rosedale. The MMF is hosting an open house at the Polonia Community Hall tomorrow night between 5 and 8 for anyone interested in learning more about the project. And here's our first look at tonight's weather. About 3 degrees outside under mainly clear skies. The wind coming out of the south-southeast at 13 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 88%. Dipping a little lower than that tonight, down to a low of 2 degrees under partly cloudy skies. The wind out of the south up to about 20 kilometers per hour. And waking up tomorrow to around 5 degrees, mostly sunny with the wind still out of the south, but 30 gusting up to 50. And we're going to see those temperatures climb all the way up to the high teens. I'll have your complete Skywatch forecast later in the show.
Winnipeg is like an epicenter of storytelling.
And now one local Indigenous filmmaking group is looking at ways to expand its reach, and it could include giving new life to a historic venue. That story when we return. A renowned Winnipeg philanthropist and volunteer has died. Tanis Richardson passed away at the age of 99. James Richardson and Sons Limited made the announcement today in a news release. Richardson was described as an accomplished community leader and champion of arts and culture. She held numerous board appointments and was involved with the Kidney Foundation of Manitoba, International Society for Heart Research, the United Way, Ronald McDonald Children's Charity, and the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra. Richardson was also instrumental in the development of the Winnipeg Art Gallery. She was the recipient of numerous awards, including being named a member of the Order of Canada in 2003. In 2020, she published an autobiography called Vignettes from My Life. The Manitoba government is directing millions of dollars in additional funding to the CFS system.
And we've heard very, very clearly that the system is needing dollars, and we were able to do that this year in 2026 budget. So I'm very happy to announce, again, $29.2 million for child welfare.
This includes nearly $19 million for the cost of care and services, along with $3 million for agency worker wages and more than $7 million for increased maintenance rates for caregivers. The province says this pushes total funding for CFS services to $458 million. The former operator of a seniors' care home in Winnipeg is asking a court to decide how much it will have to pay after the province expropriated its facility. Golden Door Geriatric Centre was taken over in February after occupancy rates dropped, leaving 25 beds open. A statement of claim was filed last week against the Winnipeg Regional Health Authority. The documents say the centre, which operated under the company Pembina Care Services Limited, told the health authority in March last year of its intent to permanently close. It alleges after negotiations with the province to buy the facility failed, the province moved to expropriate it. According to the claim, the WRHA believes it's owed more than $1 million, while the centre says it only owes $387,000. No statement of defense has been filed, and none of the claims have been tested in court. A spokesperson for the WRHA declined to comment. University of Manitoba researchers are getting a boost to improve patient-oriented research at the Centre for Healthcare Innovation. The Canadian Institutes of Health Research is extending funding for 2 years for Manitoba's Strategy for Patient-Oriented Research Support Unit. $2.6 million in federal funding will be used to strengthen collaboration between patients, caregivers, researchers, and decision-makers to improve outcomes. It will also help build on Shared Health's patient and family advisor network, Indigenous health partnerships, researcher training, and patient perspectives in health decisions. A film school to call their own. That's what a group of Indigenous filmmakers would like to see here in Winnipeg, and they have their eye on an iconic downtown theatre. CTV's Joseph Bernacki explains.
Charlene Moore loves being on both sides of the camera. Acting and directing are two of her passions. That's why she joined the Winnipeg Indigenous Filmmakers Collective.
Through the work of us coming together for a story, like something beautiful and magical happens every single time.
Every second Wednesday of the month, Moore and her fellow filmmakers meet here at the Winnipeg Film Group. She says collaboration is essential to get stories like theirs to the screen, projects often overlooked by the mainstream industry.
The scope of storytelling and allowing for voices who haven't been heard before to speak.
This week, members of the collective talked about purchasing this theater, the old Town 8 Cinemas building, which they imagine could be a hub for Indigenous film. The property has been on the market for more than 3 years.
A few of the collective members, our advisory group, are really thinking about opening up a film school. Like, we have skills, we know a lot of people.
Rachel Bolio is a director with more than 15 years in the business. She wants to give back to the community that helped launch her career by developing a space of their own. The tricky part? Financing a $2.25 million asking price.
I think it's a great use. The challenge always is getting the money together and finding the financing.
Rennie Zagalski from Capital Real Estate says a number of Indigenous filmmakers toured the property in the past couple of months, despite the hefty price tag. Still, Moore says it doesn't hurt to dream big.
Winnipeg is like an epicenter of storytelling, specifically with Indigenous filmmakers. Having that opportunity to showcase our work somewhere permanently would be amazing.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Coming up, which Canadian curling great is joining Matt Dunstone's rink for the upcoming season? And we'll have your complete Skywatch forecast when we return. First Skywatch pick of the day, Martha took this one out in White Ridge. A beautiful reflection under the sunny sky late this afternoon. And our second Skywatch pick of the day, a little inverse of that, from William up at Sioux Lookout, and beautiful sunset there. Keep those pictures coming to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca. Well, we started off with a little snow this morning, but it made its way through the afternoon. We didn't see much because it all melted. Now we could see some more snow in the coming days. And speaking of which, there is a yellow snowfall warning from Environment and Climate Change Canada for parts of central Manitoba tonight, specifically all the way across from Flin Flon to Grand Rapids to Norway House. Environment Canada says those areas could see as much as 20 centimeters of snow. Slightly south of there could see some freezing rain as well. So something to keep an eye on overnight, because check this out on the Futurecast. Heading into Wednesday morning, you can see that system developing right over central Manitoba. Again, chance of some freezing rain, flurries in some areas, even a chance of some rain in parts of western Manitoba early in the morning. Now heading through the day, here in the south, it's going to remain fairly clear, and the temperatures are climbing throughout southern Manitoba tomorrow. But that band of precipitation is going to stay around the central parts of the province for basically all of Wednesday. Northwest Ontario could see a little bit of that tapering as we move into Thursday. And speaking of Thursday, yet another system is rolling through. So the north saw it yesterday. Central Manitoba is going to see it tomorrow. And then Thursday, here in the south, a chance of some flurries as well. Chance of freezing rain into Thursday morning. And that's going to kind of hover around the lower part of the province through much of Thursday before heading into northwest Ontario as well. Taking a look around the province tonight, though, dipping down to -22 up in Churchill. Snow throughout the rest of the region. Island Lake -9, getting up to -11 in Gillam tomorrow. -10 in Thompson. In the northwest, -19 in Lynn Lake tonight, getting up to -6 in the Pod tonight, and then cooling off a little down to -9 high tomorrow. Chance of some snow, of course, throughout that entire region, as I just explained. To our west, out in Brandon, low of 1 tonight, same in Neepawa, getting up to 17 there tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine, but Swan River, Colleen said earlier as well, that's not a typo, only a high of 2 degrees there, while the rest of the region sees sun and some warmth. Here in Winnipeg and the surrounding area, similar lows around the region tonight, getting up to 19 here tomorrow, only up to 8 in Barons River. Chance of lots of sunshine tomorrow. And just over the border in Ontario, foggy tonight. Lows around 0, but getting up to 17 degrees in Fort Francis tomorrow. We're going to look at our 7-day forecast. As I mentioned, up to 19 tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, but then dipping all the way down to 1 on Thursday with some flurries of freezing rain, and even cooler as we head into the weekend before it finally gets a little bit warmer next Monday. The reigning Canadian men's curling champions have added one of the country's most decorated curlers to their rink. Matt Dunstone's Manitoba team has announced Mark Nichols is joining its rink as the new second, replacing E.J. Hardner, who is retiring. Nichols was the longtime third for Brad Gushu's Newfoundland and Labrador rink, curling with Gushu from 1999 to 2011, and again from 2014 to 2026. With Gushu, Nichols won gold at the 2006 Winter Olympics in Turin and bronze at the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing. He's been to 22 Briers since 2003, winning the championship 6 times with Gushu.
Even though they were all alone.
The Little House on the Prairie returns. Coming up, our first look at the reboot, filmed right here in Manitoba. Winnipeg's contemporary dancers season is coming to an end, but it's closing things out with a new show exploring the theme of pressure. It's called Accumulation. The program explores what happens in life when things begin to pile up, both personally and professionally, and it delves into the shared experience of modern life, specifically the feeling that something has to give.
Explores sort of how we feel on the inside and outside when things just start to build up, pressure up.
The show kicks off on April 17th and runs through the 19th at the Rachel Brown Theatre. Tickets are available through Winnipeg Contemporary Dancers website. The trailer was just released for a classic TV show reboot that was filmed in our province.
And even though they were all alone, and very small against the sky and the stars, they were happy.
Netflix is out with the first look at the first season of Little House on the Prairie. It was filmed in Winnipeg and the surrounding area. Based on the classic semi-autobiographical book of the same name, it tells the story of the Ingle family who tried to make a life for themselves in the American Midwest in the 19th century. It premieres on Netflix July 9th. It's the remarkable true story of one woman's epic journey being brought to life on a Winnipeg stage.
It's September, and I've only made it to Chicago. There's no chance I can get through the Rockies to San Francisco before snow begins to fall, which means...
Ride the Musical is based on the true story of Annie Londonderry, who set out in 1894 to become the first woman to cycle around the world. It's making its Canadian premiere right here in Winnipeg Thursday, courtesy of the Winnipeg Jewish Theatre.
We have to tell this extraordinary story of Annie's cycle around the world with only things you would find in an office. So it's pretty fun to get to create the world in that way. But it is definitely a challenge to do it. Only the two of us.
Ride the Musical runs from April 16th to May 2nd at the Bernie Theatre. You can find more details and tickets by visiting wjt.ca. Talk about a breath of fresh air. Still ahead, new footage of the Artemis crew's incredible homecoming. And we'll break down tomorrow's forecast next.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Around 5 degrees at 8 a.m., mostly sunny skies. That wind, though, 30 gusting up to 50 out of the south, getting up to 17 at 2 o'clock and all the way to 19 at 5 tomorrow. We have new video showing the moment the hatch of the Orion capsule was opened, welcoming Canadian Jeremy Hansen and the other Artemis II astronauts back to Earth.
Yeah!
Cheers were heard from the recovery crew and from inside as fresh air filled the capsule for the first time in nearly 10 days. The crew was then greeted with enthusiastic handshakes. The celebrations came moments after the capsule streaked back to Earth at blistering speeds before parachuting softly to what NASA called a bullseye landing. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Good night.